Here are some highlights of the latest episode of the YoJoeShow Podcast.
Join thousands shocked by the YoJoe Show's unfiltered truths.
Heart's beating, lungs are working. How you doing, yo?
I'm awake and alive. I think it's time we get this started.
Yep.
Where even if you've got nothing, you can start a business, you can make money, you can make a living, a respectable living for yourself and grow in life. And it's beautiful to see. Some people start with these lawn businesses and turn into multimillionaires, sometimes through the business and sometimes graduating to other businesses.
Yeah, if someone says, oh, I can't do it, I don't have the... Anyone could list 1,000 excuses as to why they can't do something. This guy listed 1,000 reasons how he would do it.
Mhm.
Clearly, he's making it happen.
Get out and get a job, respect yourself.
Yeah.
And then others will respect you too.
I think we should all put this picture up. And anytime we think we can't do something, we should remind ourselves of him and how, guess what? There's always an answer. There's always a way. I thought that'd be a fun sort of way to start, to at least look at what the world is all about, the realities of day-to-day life.
He's breathing heavily. He's talking in a bizarre voice. This was a very deranged person. And state and city leaders immediately began to blame guns as the problem for this.
I realize I will get so much hate mail over this. People will tell me that I'm a communist and all of these other things, and I'm so terrible, which also only reinforces the point, as I will definitely get some sort of like
blowback.
To start off, it's completely heartbreaking. It's disastrous and it's very sad. I grew up in Israel. In Israel, there are no issues of school shooters. Most of the world, there are no issues of school shooters.
Let's get rid of all their forks. Is that the answer? Is that the real problem? It's the same thing. No one ever thought of doing this. And it wasn't until the last few years, that this has become like more commonplace. Before it was like unheard of that someone would go and take a weapon to school. It didn't happen. And in rural America, people had grown up around guns forever, but they didn't have in their wildest dreams the notion of doing these types of things.
He wrote Mashallah, which is Arabic meaning God has willed this. So basically saying I'm doing this in God's name. A lot of these drugs were originally made to castrate pedophiles and stuff like that. And then they were turned into kind of drugs that were supposed to make transgender people happy. It
wouldn't be a far stretch. Certainly the question has to be asked. Is the treatment regimen being given to these individuals creating a much more precarious situation for them that can make them turn to this? There's a pattern, okay? And it's not because you're transgender that you're going to be homicidal or suicidal or what have you. But there's something going on, right? And you must fix that. And if you actually fix your gender identity, then all the other problems go away. And that clearly
is not your problem. Hint, hint. Yeah, maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe
this is insane. Okay, it's a lose situation for everybody. That's ruined lives forever.
Read in detail I don't know if it was his manifesto, but the letter he left for his family. It basically seemed like a fairly nice letter of a child who realizes he's about to die and asking his family to forgive him. So it seems like he grew up maybe with his heart in the right place, but then at some point he was just radicalized and brainwashed into some real craziness. And then these drugs definitely didn't help. That's for certain.
Until such time that we figure this out, we do have to figure out how to protect our kids in schools and how schools should not be a place where we're scared of sending our kids to. Because there'll always be crazy people. And if there's too many car accidents, the answer isn't take away the cars. We got to figure out why are there so many people even thinking of doing this. We're looking for easy targets, right? And the same thing for crime in general. If there's some guy that looks like he goes to the gym 3 times a day and his arms are bigger than my body, and he's walking down the street, do you think someone's going to try to mug that guy?
Problems with crime, like you said, even with some of the most rigorous gun control in the United States, notably the area around Trump Tower, apparently.
Of all the places he went, he was trying to say, oh, it's safe or whatever, come visit our beautiful city. That's where he picks. Florida's always mocked for some of the crazy stories we get coming out of Florida. Here's one, and we have one new crime-fighting hero that's being recognized.
This makes me laugh every time I see it. So the full outfit PJs, right? Around 2 a.m. Tuesday, Kyle Mivett got a phone alert that someone was outside, so he jumped out of bed in full Batman pajamas and drove around his Southeast Cape Coral neighborhood.
That's right. Maybe he saw the bat signal or something. Either way, he spotted someone moving around inside his neighbor's garage, and that's when he swooped in.
I don't know. Do grown men wear Batman pajamas still?
That's what I'm wondering. No, they don't.
Oh, come on, guys.
Maybe he just threw that on really quick before he ran.
And I like how we just mentioned JB Pritzker's Chicago, people get murdered in the street and their cars get hijacked as they're driving and stuck in traffic by like these crazy murderous villains. Whereas in Florida, people are arrested for trying to steal 2 pairs of Ray-Ban and $500 in gift cards.
Maybe the sale of Batman bed attire, sleeping attire might go up and people might feel safer at night.
Yeah.
Again, kudos to him for doing that. I think it's
Hero of the day.
Okay. This is the guy they wanted people in Pennsylvania to be out on the lookout for. He's got a nose and some hair that goes like that, and he was wearing a hat at the time of this particular crime. He's got a chin that comes down to almost a point. Stands about 5 feet 4 inches tall, and I say give that sketch artist a raise.
This wouldn't be so funny, except it's a real sketch.
It's funny. Always was surprised how, at least in the movies, the sketch artists are always so great. The pictures come out, it's like perfect. And I'm like, damn, they are talented. How did they make this art based on such little information? But apparently this one worked.
They opened up by making these huge statements about how they're on stolen land, and which again, if it's stolen, maybe they should give it back. I don't know.
Neighbor doesn't just mean the person living in the apartment or the house or the tent next to you.
Ah, the tent next to you. The tent. 9.9% of America does not live next to somebody living in a tent, and you shouldn't be. In fact, the only tent cities left in America are in Democrat-run cities, like the one where that event is happening on stolen land, one of the largest homeless encampments that Democrats and Pastor Jem Rome want you to think is perfectly normal.
Facts speak for itself. Go to 2nd Avenue, go to the homeless, come in the morning and see the drug dealers and all the activities. So the homeless is an issue.
And this is a big problem because in the past, the United States had mental institutes and we shut them all down in the 60s and 70s. And now nursing homes are like trying to cope with the mentally insane, but they're not really made for that. And then like, why should the mentally insane be next to your grandma? That's crazy. And some form of a solution like that seems to make most sense, but just allowing it to continue as normal. And
when perhaps they should.
They've spent a bunch of money on a study to try to help Democrats not sound like lunatics. Here are the terms that the center-left third way says Democrats should no longer say. Privilege. Violence, as in environmental violence. Dialoguing. Triggering. Othering. Microaggression. Holding space. Body shaming. Radical transparency. Person who immigrated. Some of the euphemisms that liberals use for illegal aliens are incredible. Person who immigrated. Don't say that. Oh, yes. Birthing persons. This is how captured by the trans ideology the Democratic Party and the progressive left is. They won't even say mother anymore. They say birthing person. So stop doing that. Dead naming. There's another one from the trans world. Heteronormative. BIPOC, that's an acronym. Not certain I can tell you what the words are, but BIPOC, that's an acronym. They won't call you a criminal. They'll call you an incarcerated person, as though maybe you're not a criminal. You probably are. 30. Involuntary confinement. Again, if you've been in prison for committing a crime, they say he's just under involuntary confinement.
Sure to like,
folks,
comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And for more, watch our other clips and shorts and the entire episode 21 of the YoJoe Show podcast.